I'm joined by Leigh Gammons from Cognifide, the Chief Executive Officer. Thank you, Leigh, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Martin.
Our Digital Trends Report 2020 looked at some of the trends that are happening within the marketplace, what companies are investing in, what their particular challenges are. From your experience, what would be the kind of trends that are influencing digital experiences today?
One of the biggest things that we're finding is that changing consumer expectations is the biggest difference from the market that we've seen before. So consumers expect things to be quicker, more relevant, more easily available. And often to do that, you need the right technologies in place, the right data in place to be able to get to that point. People are starting to take that information and react to it, but I feel there's a bit of a day of reckoning around privacy and data in particular, and businesses being more transparent to consumers. I think if you really were to break it down in its simplest terms, the thought of you being able to own all of your own data shouldn't be a figment of our imagination. It's got to be something real.
So key behind that is the data and managing that and things like compliance and stuff like that. Where do you see that as part of that kind of customer journey process as well? I mean, do you see that as a very important part of that and how you manage that?
Hugely so. So if we kind of were to map out a customer experience strategy across the full life cycle of a customer being part of a business and being engaged by a business, there's various different technologies around customer acquisition, experience management, even through kind of product information management and commerce and all those types of things. But underpinning all of it is a data strategy. So the data and the technology strategy that you've got to have has to reflect all the different stages that go through that customer journey. And still there's a lot of investment going in how to make that whole thing more harmonious throughout the whole customer journey. But you've got to break it down to the customer journey level all the way through, build your technology and data strategy behind that, and try and make it as consistent as possible throughout it.
Right. So in the report also, we were looking at the future trends and what some of these customer experience leaders within the market are looking for. In your view, what are you looking at, say, 12 months, 24 months on from now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question, but I think if you break it down to what are the future consumer behaviours, right, and how they are shifting and changing right now. And I think if you went back, we were building strategies around content at scale and performance marketing and big data strategies. I think the trends in the future are actually going to be much more simple. It's going to be around authenticity, it's going to be around sustainability, and it's going to be around trust. And how you actually build that trust with a consumer is going to be the most important thing that we all focus on as a business. So if breaking that down to the actual experience level and the technology level, we've got to be thinking about the different communities that we need to engage with. Already, I'd say social media platforms have already come out and said, some social media platforms, that they are not willing to have political slogans advertised on their platforms. That's to try and build trust and credibility with consumers. We've seen British newspapers say that they don't want to have advertising spend from some energy companies until they change their habits and their spending around innovation and greener fuels.
Right.
So those reactions in the market and in the customer perception are already happening.
So we at Cognifide and Adobe have been working together for over 10 years now, I think it is. And is there a project that comes to mind that you think sort of encapsulates all of that, sort of that I suppose lead in customer experience?
Yeah, there is actually from a Cognifide and WPP level. There is a project that comes to mind with an automotive client of ours where we've tried to bring in all the different strands of experience technology and use the creative power of WPP to be able to deliver various experiences across the different channels that this automotive supplier has. And so what that means is personalised email campaigns that then trigger personalised web experiences that then can be triggered in store, because that differentiation between online and offline shouldn't be as distinct as it often is. So that all of those parts of that customer journey are managed in a way that they feel personalised to a client. The way that they manage to translate between this is a campaign that's coming to you as an email and this is what you might see in a car showroom that's a pretty difficult thing to do, and I think it's something that we're fairly proud of. And it was done between Adobe, WPP, and Cognifide.
Great. Thanks for your time, Leigh.
Thank you, Martin.